everybody, I'm Jammer and welcome back to another Animal Crossing New Horizons video. Well, the cat has been out of the bag through the data mines from just over the weekend, and now they have just released a brand new trailer showing off the upcoming April updates coming to the game. It is so much more than I was expecting, because we knew an Earth Day update was going to be happening. We thought, oh, maybe it's just to celebrate that holiday, but we had no idea what was coming next. From this trailer, we have new content coming to the game on a weekly basis throughout the rest of April and all the way through May. While it is a short trailer, only a little over a minute and a half, there actually are some secrets and Easter eggs worth pointing out before this update comes to the game. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to go over all of that. But before we get started, if you are new here, perhaps consider subscribing. It's free, you can always change your mind later, and you can expect, of course, tons of Animal Crossing New Horizons content. Thanks for listening to that, and with that out of the way, let's get started. The best way to go about this, I feel like, is just go chronologically. Just go with the timeline of the trailer, because they do a great job organizing it there, and as well, each topic leads into the next. So it starts off the trailer talking about the updates coming out April 23rd, which is actually the day after Earth Day, but maybe they just needed time to get everything situated. And right off the bat, they show that Lief's garden shop is going to be a new traveling merchant, and it's not just for Earth Day. A lot of people, including myself, were like, okay, Lief's going to return, he'll be the host of the Earth Day event or whatever, but is he going to come back afterwards? Is he going to have a shop? And as a lot of us were hoping, yes, he's going to be thrown into the rotation of traveling merchants in the game, such as Abel, Kix, and so forth. So you can look forward to Lief's return throughout the year and, well, forever. But what does Lief sell at his garden shop? Well, the biggest thing is he sells bush starts. And for people who played Animal Crossing New Leaf, that's where bush starts were first introduced to the Animal Crossing series, which is exactly what it says. It's a plantable bush. You'll give it a few days to grow, and depending on which kind of bush you plant, it'll vary on the color of the leaves as well as what flowers sprout. So far, what we've seen from the trailer anyways, we've seen that azalea and tea olive bush starts are in the game. And there's bound to be more bushes beyond just these two. In New Leaf, for example, there was hydrangeas, hibiscus, and holly bushes, and what we've seen from the data mine over the weekend, and it does seem that those bushes will be returning as well. Lief will also sell seed packets to flowers, and at first glance you're like, okay, well, Nook's Cranny already does that, what's the point of this? Well, perhaps Lief's garden shop will actually offer and sell non-native flowers to your town, because as it currently stands, you can only buy seed packets to the flowers that are native to your town. In order to get any other flower types, you'll have to trade with your friends. Or it's even worth going as far, potentially they're going to be updating with new flowers coming to the game, and that's maybe something Lief could carry in his shop as well. What's interesting is there is no tree saplings for sale, which is contrary to what he had in New Leaf. But again, you can get tree saplings at Nook's Cranny anyways, so it doesn't really matter. In the next scene, it shows the player planting one of the full-grown bushes, but as you'll notice right next to it, hello, there are bush fences lining the pathway here, which are brand new to the game. So perhaps Lief can also sell DIY recipes as he visits, and you can buy these like kind of garden-themed DIYs, or maybe it's one of the rewards for the Earth Day celebration that we'll talk about in a little bit. But let's jump focus over to Jolly Red's treasure trawler. I seriously love the fact that Crazy Red is a smuggler in this game. He like goes on the secret beach, just like we talked about, away from Tom Nook, like sneaking his way into your town to sell his illegal goods. I love the rusty and like grubby aesthetic of his boat. What's cool is he has, his classic icon appearing on his flag, but the dark green of like the boat and the tarp is reminiscent of his tent in previous games. But let's talk about his shop itself. When the player first walks in, we get a brief view of the layout. There might be some more room off to the right, but what we can see so far, there are 2 paintings, 2 statues, and 2 regular furniture items. And as it says on screen, you can buy furniture as well as art from him. An interesting new mechanic that's actually shown off here in the trailer is you can zoom on paintings. And perhaps this is to tell if the paintings are fake or not, because as you'll know, Crazy Red is a little bit of a shady dude, and sometimes he's trying to sell off forgeries of these paintings and sculptures as the real deal. And if you try to donate those to the museum, which we'll get to in a bit, Blathers is not going to take those forgeries. In this instance, this painting is an 18th century Japanese painting, the English name for it being Rooster and Hen with Hydrangeas. It turns out, if you look at pictures of the real painting online, you'll notice that the real painting has blue flowers, but the painting here has purple. This is an immediate confirmation here right away that forgeries will be returning to the game too, which is like so fun. Segueing from the art and paintings that Crazy Red offers, like in past games, you'll want to donate these to the museum, and that ties in right to the next section of the trailer being the new museum expansion. Off the bat, it doesn't really look like the museum actually changed visually much, but actually there are some differences. First of all, the stone is more white, they got the Roman columns out front, the more obvious red banners, but the more importantly, the upgraded museum actually fills the full footprint of the museum. The previous version had that little outline of tile around it, so now it's fully filled out its area. potentially meaning this is the final upgrade for the museum. We also get a view at the new area within the museum being the art gallery. We don't see the entrance to it, but as many of us have theorized and talked about, it's probably entered in through that upstairs area that's so awkwardly placed in the current museum. It's hard to get the layout of this area because we only get this such a brief shot, but the room that we are shown has 3 areas for paintings, statues, and then there's an upper area right before the scene cuts. I'm not going to go one by one with each of the paintings and statues. A good majority of them are returning from previous games, as well as a couple of new ones. But the one worth pointing out is in the painting display case area, you'll actually notice, a rooster and hen painting. And boom, the rooster painting has blue flowers in the museum, completely confirming that the one he was trying to sell earlier in the trailer was a forgery. So the next section of the trailer talks about some upcoming events coming to the game that dates out all the way till June, matter of fact. The first one being Nature Day, which is the 23rd through the 4th of May. In this event, you're offered Nook Miles plus promotions to earn more miles doing green thumb activities, such as planting bushes, planting trees and flowers, and doing gardening, probably plucking weeds. It's a way to encourage players to beautify their town doing these green thumb activities. And hopefully Lief will come to town multiple times during this week period, so then you can continue to buy more bushes and plants and different flowers. That would be a lot of fun. The next event is May Day, which is the 1st through the 7th. This event features a limited time Nook Mile expedition that uses a May Day ticket. Oh, May Day. I literally just got the pun. On this new expedition, you explore a labyrinth of bushes. And as you can see, there's like a tool on the ground, there's like a crafting bench hidden off to the right, there's like a rock blocking the way of the maze. Maybe this maze or labyrinth of bushes is actually a challenge. Maybe you go on this May Day expedition, you start with absolutely nothing. It's up for you to navigate through the maze, craft tools, eat fruit, and make your way to the end of the maze. But you'll notice in the upper right hand corner what seems to be the reward or what's at the end of the maze here, and it's Rover. Our guy Rover returns. You can see the back of his head. He's like hanging out by his little campfire, but honestly it's like, what does he do? We have no idea. He's just like hidden off in the background. He probably just talks to you, gives you a reward for completing the maze, and then afterwards he probably can be brought to Harvey's Island for like, you know, doing the photo mode and stuff. It does make me wonder what will be his role though, like besides just being like a little bit of an Easter egg here for this May Day event. And beyond that, what will be his role after May Day concludes after May 7th? Because it does make me think, why is this May Day event so long, being the 1st to the 7th? Is there a point to doing this expedition multiple times? Perhaps there's little Nook Mile achievements that you can do to unlock multiple May Day tickets. You can go through a randomized layout of this maze multiple times, and maybe Rover gives you different rewards each time. So maybe there's like a reason to be doing it multiple times or something. It could be just a one and done thing, but it does seem kind of odd that it's like such a large date range, such a smaller little holiday. Anyways, let's move on to the next in-game event, being International Museum Day, being the 18th through the 31st of May. It's really cool because they have this like little stamp rally where you visit different exhibits to complete your stamp book and you get quote-unquote in-game rewards, probably like museum-themed furniture items, clothing, and whatnot. In the trailer, we see the player getting a fish stamp for visiting one of the exhibits. We can see room for 4 different stamps, one for Coral Reef, the coast, the Serenity tank, and then the 4th bubble is smaller and doesn't have a label. So perhaps that's like a stamp you get for completing all 3 of each of the stamps in this little stamp book. But similar to what I was talking about with the May Day thing, this date range is kind of long. On the first day of Museum Day, if you just run through your whole museum, get all the stamps, wouldn't you just end the event right there? So perhaps maybe the stamps change every single day in your museum and different exhibits are being shown off. Or even beyond that, maybe it actually encourages you to visit your friends' museums to get different stamps. So like maybe my museum's showing off the Coral Reef tank. Perhaps if I visit a friend's one, that one's actually showing off the shark tank or the deep dive suit area. I think this is a really cool way to encourage players to not only explore their own museums, but also check out their friends' museums and actually see the progress everyone's been making. The final in-game event is wedding season, all the way out from June 1st to the 30th. What we see in the trailer is Reese and Cyrus returning, talking to Harvey to get some anniversary photos taken. It doesn't look like their shop or retail are returning in any form. From what we can tell, it looks like they're seemingly only returning for this little new photo mode, so then you can obviously use those 2 characters in other photos. But the new mechanic introduced is that you can wed them. It comes with all these brand new wedding furniture with flowers and white benches. It's absolutely beautiful. After you get the anniversary photos and wed Reese and Cyrus, I'm positive that you'll be able to do this with other villagers as well, or maybe even yourself. I really like this idea of bringing this update to Harvey's Island to hopefully encourage more players to take advantage of it, because I feel like there's a lot of creativity that can be done there in Harvey's Island with like all the different scenarios you can create with different furniture and all the villagers. And so bringing silly little updates like wedding season to Harvey's Island, it's such a fun way to encourage people to continue to use that feature. I'm not sure why this is considered a holiday, like it's a month-long thing. Like, can you no longer host weddings after the 30th of June? Because that would be kind of a bummer if you couldn't take those photos anymore and it's only exclusive to this time frame. But at the same time, maybe that makes it special. If you want to marry Zucker and Marina together, this is your time to do it. But that is about everything shown off in the new April update trailer for Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's a lot of new content coming to this game, and it lines up nearly perfectly from what we saw from the Datamine. There were some things in the Datamine that have not been shown off in this update trailer. I'm not going to talk about them here, so potentially they could be spoilers, but other than that, the majority of the stuff we talked about are in this new April update trailer. Now that we have a kind of an idea of how they're going to be going about the new updates coming to this game, I'm all for it. It honestly feels like we're going to be getting new content on a nearly weekly basis of different characters to interact with, new collectibles to get, you know, with art and paintings and new bushes and new furniture sets. There's so much coming to this game. But let me know in the comments, what feature are you looking forward to the most? What characters return are you most excited for? And what do you think Rover does besides just stand there? I'm so curious. Definitely let me know that in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a big awesome like, and if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Animal Crossing New Horizons. We stream this game every weekend, Saturday and Sunday around 9:30 a.m. Eastern. The timing when we start kind of varies, so to keep up to date on when we do that, your best bet is to follow me on Twitter, as well as join our community Discord. The link to both of those are in the description below. So thanks again guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya!